Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Sheng. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. The United States plans to deploy up to 6 nuclear-capable B-52 bombers at the Royal Australian Air Force Base Tindal in the Northern Territory, about 300 kilometers, 190 miles south of Darwin. According to ABC's report, the US has drawn up detailed plans for what it calls a squadron operations facility for use during the Northern Territory dry season. It includes an adjoining maintenance center and a parking area for the B-52s. B-52 bombers can carry the largest array of weapons in US inventory, including cluster bombs, gravity bombs, and precision-guided missiles. The announced decision to send the B-52 bombers to its Aussie ally comes just 1 week after the US listed China as its #1 security threat, despite the war in Ukraine and active nuclear threats from Moscow. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin described China as the only competitor out there with both the intent to reshape the international order and increasingly the power to do so. The Pentagon argued the move improved regional peace and stability. This U.S. investment is part of the Enhanced Air Cooperation Program, which has built on a range of air exercises and training activities between the two countries since early 2017. In September 2021, as China increasingly raised the possibility of a Taiwan invasion, the United States, along with Australia and the United Kingdom, announced the AUKUS alliance, focused on helping Australia acquire nuclear-powered submarines. As part of that deal, Australia in March announced it would build a new naval base off its east coast. The new base will eventually be home to nuclear submarine Australia will acquire via AUKUS. The base could also provide American nuclear submarines with supplies and maintenance. And in January, Australia agreed to a $3.5 billion deal with the US to acquire more than 120 tanks and other armored vehicles to upgrade its military fleet. Australia's Northern Territory is already host to frequent military collaborations with the United States. Thousands of US Marines rotate through the territory annually for training and joint exercises, started under President Barack Obama. The ability to deploy the long-range bombers to Australia sends a strong message to adversaries about Washington's ability to project air power, the US Air Force was quoted as saying in the report. And of course, Beijing is not happy. When asked for a comment at a regular briefing in late October, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said defense and security cooperation between countries should not target third parties. The relevant practices of the US side have increased tensions in the region, seriously undermine the regional peace and stability, and may trigger an arms race in the region, Zhao said. China urges the parties concerned to abandon the old Cold War zero-sum mentality and narrow geopolitical concepts and do more to contribute to regional peace and stability and to enhance mutual trust. Chinese state media have previously quoted domestic analysts as saying Australia could essentially become an overseas bomber base of the US. However, Australia's defense minister in early November played down the significance of a major upgrade of B-52 facilities has raised China's ire, saying the nuclear-capable US bombers have been visiting since the 1980s. Asked if the upgrade could prove too provocative, Defense Minister Richard Marles told reporters, "I think everyone needs to take a deep breath here. In terms of US bombers, they've been coming to Australia since the 1980s. They've been training in Australia since 2005, and all of this is part of an initiative which was established in 2017, Miles said. And he also added Australia would be a significant beneficiary of the Tindal upgrade. Some Australian critics argue the B-52's increased presence in northern Australia would make the country a bigger target in a war between the United States and China. Tindal, like the US Pacific military bases in Guam, is within range of Chinese long-range missiles. Malcolm Davis is a senior analyst in defense strategy at the Australian Security Policy Institute think tank. He said China and other observers were hyping and over-egging the significance of what was proposed. This is not significant in terms of the hardware side of things. It is significant in terms of the strategic importance of the fact that we are now able to move easily support the US in its operations in the region, Davis said. The US Air Force would be able to operate the B-52s for longer and with more ease from Tindal with an expanded parking apron, hangars, and fuel storage tanks. It also means that in a crisis, Australia would be one of the few locations that the B-52s can more easily operate from to support US operational requirements. Speaking during a visit to Thailand, Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong said the governments led by both of Australia's major parties have worked to increase coordination and interoperability with the United States and with others. She said Australia welcomes increased US involvement in the region under the Biden administration. Wong said she hoped that the deteriorating relations between Australia and China would improve. Last month, China's President Xi Jinping told the 20th Communist Party Congress that he would never rule out the use of force to achieve reunification with Taiwan. For Xi, Taiwan is central to his promise to achieve national rejuvenation. In early October, Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese signed a new security declaration with his visiting Japanese counterpart, Fumio Kishida. The declaration was to deter aggression and behavior that undermines international rules and norms. The deal commits Australia and Japan to consult each other on how to respond to regional crises and is expected to pave the way for great sharing of intelligence and strategic assessments about China's intentions. Albanese and Kishida have both called for peace and stability across Taiwan Strait and raised concerns about China's activities in the South and East China Sea. Facing with China's breakneck military modernization, island building, swarming maritime militia, or provocative circling of neighbors with Russian armadas, US-led alliance will naturally grow stronger. Will it be strong enough to deter Beijing's aggression? Time will tell. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.